The friendship pasta, take one. Welcome to my cooking show. I'm actually still coming up with a name, so we'll figure that out together. But it's about the Friendship Cookbook. I'm doing a launch party today. I got a bunch of friends coming over. I'm cooking a lot of different things. Right now I'm frying some chicken, got some oxtail in the oven, and I'm gonna make some lobster pasta for my friends as well. Just a whole lot of foods, all right? This one we have some very lovely fresh ingredients, lots of different herbs. It's kind of like an Alfredo pasta, so we're using a lot of different herbs in there, but with a twist. And we got this crema, this Mexican cream. A lot of people like to use milk or whipping cream or different kind of creams. I think this is a secret ingredient, and that's why I got the best pasta. All these herbs, let me see if I can name some for you. I got 2 different parsleys, Italian and American. And then I got some cilantro, basil and thyme I told you about in here, rosemary, some bay leaves, oregano. I know it's oregano, but I like to say oregano because it just sounds like that's what it should be. So I'm using all these fresh herbs. You can use dry herbs, but I think good food takes quality ingredients. Fresh ingredients makes the best food. So I'm gonna just use a little bit. So like this amount, just a little handful. Right now I'm making pasta for about 20 people. And I have to keep checking on my chicken. So that's the thing with cooking. I like it because you can just do a couple things at once. You can be focused over here while you got your chicken frying. And that's like a metaphor for life. How you can, shift your focus sometimes and everything will be okay. Oh, this looks good. This looks ready. And yeah, looking good. In my own experience, a lot of times was with food when I shared some of the most intimate things, whether it's a dream, a goal, or whatever. And I think sharing is so impactful. So I wanted to provide a space for that, especially because one of my goals is to inspire and for people to actually learn. Like, I don't want to just show you what I can do. Like, I know what I can do. And whenever I meet people, strangers in between, I like talking to people. I like learning, and I like when people share their stories with me and their journey with me. So with that, I was like, okay, I want to take it to another level. I want to inspire people. I want to do something that's not being done. I'm that kind of artist. So I want you to feel like you can do it too, one, or know you can do it too, actually. And then, learn something along the way. So now the challenge is being able to capture what's up here and put it out there. And I think we'll be able to do that. For sure, so I'm excited. I'm just kind of doing a loose chop. I don't need it to be too fine. A sharp knife is best, so you don't butcher it. I have some scallion, as we call them in Jamaica. I know a lot of people call them green onions, which works as well. Again, don't have to be too fine when you cut these up. Just a nice rough chop. So I'm just grab a couple pieces of mint. Fresh garlic. The garlic you can mince up a little bit more, but again, it doesn't have to be like perfectly fine. Nice. This already smells good. I wish you could smell this. My onions, kind of want to dice them, so kind of cutting them like this first, and then go back across it to kind of get that diced that I want. Obviously, the recipe's in the cookbook. I'm not following the exact recipe right now. The recipe in the cookbook is for like maybe 5 people, but this one was for 20, so I'm adding more and stuff like that. But oh yeah, now we got a nice bowl chopped up of our vegetables. I'm gonna get this water off of this, rinse this off. Let's do a little quick flip through. So here's the Friendship Cookbook. This is volume 2. I kind of went with a similar cover to the first one. If you don't have it, you can't have it. It's sold out forever. But this one is on Amazon right now, or on my Instagram at Chef Bumbuhclaat. We have a variety of dishes, I should say, simply because, again, I just like to cater to different people and like to eat different things. Even like with my cookbook, right? A lot of my meals is that fusion. It's like me putting my own touch on it. We have like a whole vegan section, for instance, with some vital soup. People really love the oxtail. You could even make yourself a nice tea. I like to drink tea. Drink tea, mind your business. That's my catchphrase. But yeah, you can't go wrong with any of these. And then another thing I did was this QR code. You scan this QR code, it takes you to a video of this meal so you can see how to make it, how it's supposed to look, give you a little bit of a guide so you got some help right on hand. I thought that was a nice little touch. And then as we get into it, I have little excerpts about my friends, what they mean to me, the relationship, just kind of including people. At the beginning is my sister. This is my best friends, you know, and I love that I can be like, my sister can really be like one of my best friends. But yes, it's just an amazing experience, and I want to bring this experience to you. In general, you want to dry the things off so that your seasoning can stick on it. Make sure you don't lose any paper towel in there. You don't want to feed people paper towel. That would be bad. A little bit of olive oil. Keeping it simple, some onion and garlic powder, a little bit of jerk seasoning that I'm gonna use as well, and some paprika. But nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. You could also just use your favorite seasoned salt. If that's Laurie's, please get a better taste bud. I'm just kidding. That's about less than a tablespoon or about. Just listen to your ancestors. Oh, that was a lot more than I want, but it's not the end of the world. That happens sometimes in cooking. You might look a bit too much, but you can always counter things, fix things. These are, I think, shiitake mushrooms. Just gonna do a handful of those. Honestly, I don't really like mushrooms, like eating it, but I love the flavor that it gives. But I don't know. Just wash these off in my little bowl here. And these, we just keep them in that umbrella shape. So do like an umbrella shape. That's what I call an umbrella. So with those, you're just kind of cutting straight down a bit. And then once I start cutting it up, I'll see mushroom cooks down, but I'm really just using it more so for the flavor. So I'm not needing too much, honestly. I might do like 1 or 2 more, because it is a lot of people. But when you're doing it at home, if you love mushrooms, use a lot. If you don't, yeah, just use a little bit. I'm gonna move these for now. I'm done with these. Hopefully they get some sun and come back. Alrighty. As you go, you clean as you go when you're cooking. That's just something I encourage. It just makes things a lot easier for you in the end. I feel like a lot of people don't cook because they hate the cleanup, or they don't have nobody to clean up for them. But just clean as you go, and it makes it a little bit easier in the end. I almost forgot about the chicken, so I'm glad I just remembered when I looked up. But you know, it's a little clock in your head, and when you remember, that's when you're supposed to look. In general, with cooking, an internal clock develops over time. Just like with anything else, the more you do it, the more you know it. So, and then your nose. I always tell people, like, your nose when you're cooking is one of your biggest indicators. Eventually, you'll be able to know when the flavor is changing, when something is burning, when you need to, whatever. So you smell it, you'll be like, okay, something's happening, I need to react. So your nose and then that clock kind of goes together as far as when you know something needs to happen. But nothing beats repetition, so just cook and cook some more, for real. But if you have my cookbook, you don't have to guess. It'll tell you exactly when it's ready. And then, as you can see, I've been my Spanglish, my little, not Spanglish, my patois/English, go in and out. It's like knowing 2 languages at this time, so you're going to get a little blend, a little mix. But as long as you understand, you understand. Yeah, this chicken is looking good. I will just go eat it right now. You want to sample, my brethren? I got to get you a sample, man. I got my friends here. They're watching me hella hungry. I ain't fed them all day. But check me out. Tell me how we taste them. Yes, brethren, tell me how it tastes. Fry some chicken. I'm going to smother some later. Silence. Don't sleep on Chef Q here. He's a great chef himself, but we'll get him in later. He's actually, I'm gonna take advantage of his presence, and he's gonna make one of his signature salads for my guests, so that's dope. As well as some lemonade. I'm just putting him to work for real. So.
All right, so my name is Mark Quinn Gibson, also known as Chef Q. Yeah, so I'm here, you know, yeah, for my boy. And I know Sequoia from, we started at Howard University. That's been my dog ever since, man. This is like 10 plus years in the making. So yeah, we formed a bond early on, freshman, sophomore year type, and we've just been locked in ever since. One of the first times I came to his apartment when he lived here in LA, just seeing him cook, seeing him be in his element in his own kitchen. I think that was the only real time that I got to see him like kind of in his own space, right? In his own kitchen. It was just an honor and a privilege to watch. And I was just so inspired by just breaking bread, you know, watching the game. We probably watching soccer or we probably watching basketball or something, but just the fact that, you know, he made me feel welcome, and it was just good to see my homie in his element, right? So that was probably like 2016 or something, I don't know, but distant memory, but the brotherhood, the bond is stronger than ever, so yeah. We both just go after what we want, you know, fiercely. I think it's just a fierce spirit that really connected us and kind of cemented our relationship. Not more so when we first met, but as the years kind of progressed, we've grown closer, our friendship has strengthened, and you know, we just always show up for each other. So I think we have a fierce spirit behind doing the things that we really love to do, the things we're really passionate about. We've just always been locked in that sense.
I like to use lemon. People like to use lime sometimes. You can use vinegar as well. You have options. I like the lemon because it's not too strong. It's a good flavor and a taste for it as well. Don't have a grater and I need to make some lemon zest, so I'm gonna use my knife and pray for the best. Essentially, the zest is just little pieces of the skin that you want to get. You want to avoid getting some of the white part. That's what we call the rind. Essentially, some of that bitterness. So just keep it light, keep it on the surface. The skin on lemons are not thick. With the grater, they're a little longer. Yeah, so just nice surface cuts, very, very thin, all right? So we need a little bit of that, not too much, not too legal. We're also gonna use some lemon juice, so it's okay if you don't get the most zest, but get as much as you can. And then, you know, it's funny because of how things work out. I was born in Jamaica, and then when I was 10, I got kidnapped by my family, and they brought me here. So now it's like knowing 2 languages, 2 cultures. So my food is a lot of fusion, right? So even like with this pasta that I'm making, I'm using a little bit of that jerk seasoning here to add my own twist, a little bit of Mexican cream. You know, just always bringing different cultures and flavors together. And that's why I chef Bumbuhclaat, because when people eat my food, they be like, Bumbuhclaat. How are everything going, Bree? Good. Did you? Oh, you got a grater? Wow, that was fast. Right after I just had to innovate.
I think that's great for the sugar.
Oh, of course you do. Oh, yeah.
You know what I do that.
Sure. It's very convenient for you, huh?
So Koi and I met at one of our mutual friends, like game day. He has an organization called the Black Neighborhood, so he would put on every so often like these big game days, whole bunch of black people in LA, young black people just coming together. So we connected there, and honestly, I just feel like I don't even remember the exact moment, but it's just like, oh, we connected and then just stayed in touch from there. I feel like I can always tell when someone has like a little Caribbean accent underneath. Growing up like with a Jamaican background it's different than other people, and so it's like, one, for as small as of an island Jamaica is, there are Jamaicans everywhere. And he was just like kind and had a very like inviting energy. So I think what's like kept us connected or like is memorable is just like he would always post his food on Instagram. And I feel like when I see Jamaican food, it's like a little bit of like home comes back to me. So we would always like go back and forth and be like, where's mine and stuff. But it was like really cool to see him as just a young person who's living here and has created and established his roots here, still like tap into that through food because it's a connector.
I like mixing butter and oil together. You get that nice flavor of butter and some of that fat. But then when you mix the oil in it, you get that higher smoke point. So now you can do more with it, more flavor and more time to do whatever you want to do. So it's a win-win. Mix your oil and butter around so they can become one. And then with these, I'm not gonna dice them up too fine. Basically, turning 1 shrimp into 3. When it cooks, it will cook down a little bit. So just nice, even slices. These are tiger prawns. I like these in contrast to other shrimp because it's so meaty and it kind of eat like a lobster, so they're perfect for a dish like this. And it's gonna give that sauce that nice flavor as well. One of the reasons why I'm making pasta is because when you have to feed a lot of people, that's a great go-to meal. It doesn't take a lot to make a lot. And everybody loves pasta, like who don't love pasta? So, almost done. So right now my oil is getting hot. Something that I like to actually do is just, if I had a couple minced pieces of garlic on top, just drop a couple pieces in there, get some flavor in your oil. And then once those become brown black, you know your oil is hot enough. And I'll probably add the rest of those in a little bit, but I'm gonna fry up these shrimps first. That's nice and hot. I'll go ahead and add these shrimp in there. Turn my fire up a little bit so it's hotter. Oh, that butter is, so good. As you see, the more you go, the ingredients just dwindles and dwindles and dwindles. You create space for yourself. I do want to get some cheese for this sauce, so I might as well grater it now. Me and Chef Q, is that what you want the people to call you today? People be having hella names. One for the street, one for their friends, one for their mama. So today he's Chef Q. But yeah, we go way back to Howard. A lot of my friends I've met at Howard, especially some of the friends in my cookbook. Well, Chef Q was one of those people I met. And we've been cooking together for years. We did something together in California, in Los Angeles. What was that, 2017? It's a while ago. And then he ended up moving to Chicago, where he's from. Can you tell the people where you're? Born and raised.
Chicago, Southside, Inglewood, exact, 73rd.
In my opinion, Chicago is the best city in America. It's my favorite for sure. Maybe I'm a little biased, but I give you that. Chicago's it's a great city. And then now you've opened your own cafe, your restaurant in Chicago.
Yes, sir. 7323 Chicago Cafe.
Right.
We're located in the Woodlawn neighborhood.
And that's one of the sponsors I have on this book here. Chef Q's just been a great friend and a great support system. So I definitely wanted to include him in this process. I'm glad I have his extra hands on deck. Oh, nice apron. Yeah, that shit is raw. I really like that apron. So what inspired you to open Cafe 7323?
I've always had an entrepreneurship spirit, right? An entrepreneurial spirit. Mm-hmm. And that has shown in all of the things that I've done up to this point. And a part of me moving back to Chicago was, I realized was just for me to be able to build community. People that look like me, my family, my friends, because this is where I come from. And what better way to do that than through food, So yeah, that's what inspired it. Took a 20-foot shipping container, converted it into a small kitchen, and that is what people have come to know it as 7323 Chicago Cafe.
Chef Q, he chose his own photo, by the way. So, ladies, this is how he looks.
Yeah, see me outside.
And he actually gave us the panko encrusted salmon, which is inside the Friendship Cookbook and Amazon, on my Instagram, and wherever you need it.
This last summer, the summer of last year. So for those of the people that don't know, I own a cafe in Chicago, 7323 Chicago Cafe, shameless plug. Sakura was one of the first people that I collaborated with and brought into the space of the cafe, where he and I curated just a menu for the day, right? So we curated a Caribbean inspired menu, and it was just influences of like both of our cultures, It represented our friendship, how we know each other, how we connect, and the people loved it. My boy flew all the way to Chicago, and they still asking about him. When the Jerk Man gonna come back? When y'all doing that again? And so just the way that we come together and we believe in one another, like, and the way we show up for each other, the list goes on. But like we just kind of locked in.
Like, yeah, Chef Q, he's literally handed over his restaurant to me. Like, make the menu or do whatever. Like, that's love. Like, that's like the highest form of love to me. Like, when somebody do for you like they will do for themselves, like, come on. It don't get no better than that. So a lot of these people have done that. They all have done that. They're vital to my life. Here I'm just getting all these nice herbs cooked into this lovely butter. I can see my onion getting soft. I'm gonna add some shrooms as well. Not the shrooms you be doing. These are just mushrooms. I feel like somebody's eyes lit up when I said I'm gonna add shrooms. So just wanna make that clear. These are shiitake, not whatever you be doing. And then some of that zest up in there as well. I'm also just gonna do a little bit more lemon juice. And then once my mushrooms cook down a little bit, then I'll go ahead and add some of that wine. Oh yeah, I'm gonna check the oxtails now. Let me just slide my chicken down this way. So I'm doing it in this big Dutchie. In Jamaica, we call this a Dutchie. Like a Dutch oven, I suppose. Don't know where the name come from. Oh, look at this beauty. Oh, look at this. It's been cooking. Let me get a spoon so I can stir this up, see how it's going. Yeah, got some wooden spoon, right? Perfect. Because you know, like with the plastic, you got all these microparticles that be getting all in your system and it could be very unhealthy. But this is looking good. Them oxtails look good. Almost falling off the bone already. Just gonna put it back in the oven for a little bit longer and get a little taste, because you know. Oh, so soft. That's good. I'm gonna put it back in the oven for a little bit longer, but honestly, it's getting the tenderness I want. And I'm gonna finish it on the stovetop. So, it's a little bit spicy. So, when I'm finishing it on the stovetop, I'll remember that and I'll make sure that I turn some of that spice down. All right, my mushrooms are getting soft. Nice and soft. I'm gonna add some of this wine up in here. Just a nice little splash. This is gonna reduce. It just creates this nice reduction for us. It can kind of just help add some flavor, and it also just helps to break down my vegetables in here. It's really just about the flavoring when it boils down, when it cooks down. And this is just gonna go on and do its thing. Once this comes back to a nice little bubble, I'm gonna add some of this crema. I'm gonna use probably both of these because again, I have a lot of people and I wanna make a lot of cream. I'm gonna add some cheese as well. And I got this butter over here that I'm gonna add too. And I know the ingredients in my book does not use that butter, but that's okay. I don't want you guys to be like me. I just want you to cook. Every time I cook, it's like a new recipe for real. The ingredients are the ingredients, right? The recipe, that's up to you. That's where you get to put your personal touch in there, get creative, and that's what cooking is about at its core. So yeah, this smells so good. I'm drunk. And as we get further in our pasta, I need my other friend to help me, my friend Twan, because that's what it is. I'm always cooking with my friends or just hanging out. Sometimes I'll be doing things. I'm like, yo, come chop this up for me real quick or whatever. And that's why, it's one of the reasons it's a friendship cookbook. When I was doing this book, I feel like I love cooking. I never really liked cooking for money. I did sell some plates in college and stuff like that. For the most part though, it was always people I know or knew. It was people that were close to me. And then after college, and once I got out of college and I was living here in LA, it was just cooking only for my friends really. And these friends were like taste testers. So a lot of the people in this book, or some of them at the very least, these are people that's had my food for years. So it was important to include these people because they've been essential to my journey. They've been so supportive to me, so loving, so forgiving. I've done messed up more than a few times. But these people love me no matter what. You know, it's like, it's not that I can't do anything wrong, but there's nothing I can do to make them not love me. All right, my sauce is almost done. My boy Tweezy, Top Shotta, is about to join me and give me a hand because I got hella shit to do. You can just butterfly those for me. When you're butterflying, you're essentially creating like a butterfly, like how a butterfly opens its wings. There's a couple ways to do it. You can do it like this. You can go straight down, like a heart, depending on how sharp your knife is. And then once it's cut, he opens it a certain way, like that, and it becomes a butterfly. I like your shirt. Where'd you get it?
Oh, it's my shirt. I made it.
Oh, you did? What does it say?
Afrotech Designs. Yes.
What is Afrotech Designs?
Afrotech Designs is my company. What we design.
What do you do? What does your company do?
We do custom designs in people's homes.
Oh, that's fun.
You design your kitchen one day, you know. You can cook all your flavorful dishes.
Hell yeah. Are you working on any cool projects right now?
Yeah, I'm working on the kitchen right now. So, you know, y'all can check the page out, see how that project went. I know it's funny, before I started the company, I started at Red Lobster. Just chopping up lobster.
Oh, full circle moment.
Full circle moment.
That's how you know you're living right, when you have them full circle moments. I just made that up, but it sounded good, so you believed me. So this is like some squash, like some pumpkin that I'm gonna add to our rice. You could also scrape it. That's one way to go about it, but I wanna get basically most or all of it off, so I'm peeling it. Not too small, like about, a little cube size, because I do want it to cook out in the water, but also not too much. My sauce is nice and bubbly, nice and creamy. That's exactly what I want. I'm gonna turn my fire down a little bit because I can feel it sticking at the bottom a little bit. I'm gonna add some cheese, let the cheese cook out inside of it, just become nice and melty. Add some. So get that mixed in and cooked into there, stir that in. It's gonna become nice and creamy. So when I was in college, I used to cook sometimes and try to like sell plates to make some money to pay Howard their tuition, because Howard, they'd be charging you an arm and a leg, but black excellence. So anyway, I had to try to pay this damn tuition, so I, hustle off some plates, $5, whatever. And so I was really the only one in the kitchen cooking at that time. Like nobody was really cooking, not in college, especially not men. So one day I go to my kitchen, like I wake up, like I smell bacon, pancakes. I'm like, oh, it's busting. I thought I was cooking in my sleep. I'm like, yo, this shit smells so good. I go to the kitchen and he's in there. And I'm like, the hell? I'm like, what's up? Chopping it up, being cool. Like, what you mean? And then eventually he was like, okay, this dude can cook. He started being in there like every day. Then we started like cooking together in there. And then next thing you know, here we are, basically. But that's the vibe. I'm always having fun when I'm cooking. I think people who know me will say that I cook with love. Would you agree? Wasn't loud enough for me. I ain't gonna lie though. Once upon a time, I will never be able to let somebody in the kitchen with me. Like I just feel like my space was being cluttered. But as I got older, and I realized, sometimes people want to be included. They want to feel like they're a part of something, so even if it's just stir that, whatever.
Everybody got a place. You got to find it.
Exactly, so I've learned to be more open about sharing the kitchen, especially because the kitchen was like a haven for me. I used to work in mental health for years, and a lot of my clients were like suicidal and severely depressed and for real, on the verge of 5150. And it was a lot of stress. So when I went home, that's how I would unwind. I would just literally stop at the grocery store, go home, and just cook. And that's how I just unwind for the day. And I would do that for 5 years. That was my day, Monday through Friday, damn near. And then eventually I left that job, but yeah. Woohoo, woohoo. My boy's adding some more cheese. I know for some of y'all, there's never enough cheese. I don't disagree, but a lot of this stuff I already had from this morning. I'm just gonna add it over the top. Just add the rest of these fresh herbs and spices. Look at that. That is beautiful. Never too much, never too much, never too much. Oh, this sauce is, oh my God. Look at this. This is just a real ass sauce right here. I'm just adding some scallion to this water. I already added some garlic. I'm gonna add some fresh thyme as well. But we're closer to the end than the beginning. I like to tell people that. So with these, I like the Grace butter beet. It's okay. We're just gonna have to use a knife. It's the traditional brand, the most popular brand in the Caribbean. I guess they are known for having quality products. This is not an endorsement because they didn't pay me, but yeah, that's what I grew up on. We grew up on Grace in the Caribbean. It's a big brand in the Caribbean. So I'm just gonna use my knife, and you just get innovative. Everything is a tool. Like I could probably make a whole meal with just a knife, no fork, no spoon, nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and add some butter bean there. Oh yeah, this is gonna be so good. Okay. Sensational. You crying? Damn, bro, that's crazy. Oh, why are you crying, bro? It's okay, bro. Hey, man, let it out, man. This is a safe space. This is men's therapy, bro. It's okay. It's just a little bit of browning. Also helps with the flavor. And this you want to be careful because it's so strong. And you can use it for anything to flavor things. Most people use it for color more than they use it for flavor, but the option is there. All right, so we got our oxtail coming along. Honestly, with this, I'm just gonna leave it, let it stew, let it do its thing. Just added some butter, again, for more fat. Yes, brethren, I saw oxtail full up nice and rich, butter bean. Falling off the bone. Jasmine rice, my favorite rice. I know a lot of people like basmati, but I don't like that as much. But jasmine is a good girl. Good rice. But yeah, sometimes you find little things in your rice, so I like to just pick through it so I can get all that stuff out. But yeah, looks pretty good. So, you know, as you go, you can taste as you go. You can, I always say, begin with the end in mind. And what I mean by that is like, you know, have yourself a little goal, like know what you want, know what you're trying to get to. So like, for instance, if you want like a certain color, if you want like a certain taste, keep that in mind. Like, whatever the end goal is, that's where you start at. And then you just work your way till you get there. Yeah, so once you see or start getting that red-orange color on your shell, you can say, you know your lobster is cooked. And at that point, it's just different levels of cooking it, whether it's gonna be a little more meaty or a little more juicy. The harder, the longer you cook it, it becomes hardened a little bit. It's a rolling production with some moving parts. My lovely assistant, Bree, this couldn't happen without her. So you need help in life, my friends, you need help. Whatever you're trying to do, you need help. You can't do nothing alone. In the end, you're gonna need somebody. So my boy, look at who, whoa, brought up, talk about a party. This is cool.
A party without a balloon. Come on, my guy. Good to see you.
Nice to see you too, Kyle, Chloe.
Hi, good to see you.
Yes, welcome to the
my
set.
God.
So we're just getting it going. Yes. Our whole setup. You guys are kind of in the middle of the action. Oh, you did bring me this lovely bottle. So I couldn't find my Jamaican white rum, but a year ago, I brought Kyle this rum from Jamaica. Talk about full circle. This episode is called Full Circle because it just keeps going full circle. And now we get to use it to make drinks today, so that's what's up. Make some and bring it back.
So I started working with Sequoia a little bit over a year ago. From day one, like we just kind of gotten together and gotten together really well. I gave him a ride home from work one time and he offered to come over and he was like, hey, let me cook for you. And ever since then, I was like, yeah, I need this guy cooking for me more. So I kept him close and we've just grown our relationship since then.
I'm glad you guys made it. That's pretty good, sorry. So with the rice, the major thing is about rice to water ratio. So once I've added my rice, I'm gonna give it a nice stir. Essentially, you wanna have about a ½ inch or a little bit less than a ½ inch above the rice. This one looks pretty good, But when I stir it, how easily I see the rice is what's gonna let me know right now. Hey, Mariah. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you made it.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, you're early, but it's all good to get to see some of the action. Actually right on time, I didn't say 5 o'clock. I'm glad you made it. So Mariah is actually somebody, this is the first time I'm really meeting them, that just always liked my food, followed my page, and has been such a great supporter, and always wanted a chance to taste my food, so I thought this has been a great opportunity, so I'm glad you're here. No, so thank you for supporting. I love that you made it, and yeah, Jet, you made it.
Good to see you.
Look at y'all being a fake way on time. Take shots right now. Some of my friends are coming in. We got Walter here, we got Jet, we got Miranda. Welcome to the show. We're cooking it up. We're getting it ready for you. Bless this lovely bottle. Take a little shot of that.
I've been knowing Sequoia since college. He's always been a super creative guy, and that's how we connected through creativity. So I had a lot of ideas for creative projects, film projects, things like that, and I would typically be directing them, and Sequoia is an all-around artist, so he is also an adept writer. And so I will collaborate with him a lot on bringing ideas to fruition through that medium of writing. Today I was reminded of back in college when we were all living in the dorms, and Sequoia still cooked like real quality good meals, and being able to go from that before the inception of all of this to what he's doing today is amazing. So I'm really kind of cherishing that trajectory right now.
Virginia, you made it.
Hello.
Thank you for coming.
Hi, here.
Welcome. What you brought? Thank you so much. Yes, I'm gonna be drunk for days. Where's the weed? No, I'm just kidding. I guess we should take a shot because we've been here going hard all day. I'm not a big alcoholic. I'm not a little alcoholic either, but you know, since it's a special day or whatever. I know, I forgot it was my birthday. I really forgot. It's just, I've been so focused on this damn event. Well, my birthday was a couple days ago. Yeah. Thank you. I'm gonna take a shot and pass this around. Ooh, not bad. Oh. I'm gonna make some gravy from my chicken from earlier, the fried chicken. Gravy is actually very easy to make. 2 ingredients you really need. And we're gonna make what we essentially call a roux, and that's just butter and flour. Once my butter is melted, I'm gonna add the flour little by little. My rice is coming along well. I'm just gonna stir it up. I can tell right now at this stage if it's too much water, not enough water, and this is just about right. Start removing some of these things a little bit. They've done their job. Just take a little bit of those out. Back to my little roux. My butter's nice and melted. I think that's enough butter. Add a little bit of flour. You kind of want to dust it in there so that it doesn't, become too clumpy, because this happens fast as well.
Yeah, the smaller fried chicken is my favorite.
Yes.
Still learning how to make the gravy, so this is great for me right now.
Yeah, I like to build it up slowly from scratch. Just keep adding a little bit of flour. Looks like I could add a little bit more right now. Again, I just try to sprinkle it in so it doesn't clump up.
A little bit at a time.
A little bit at a time. So that way you can stay in control, you understand? But yeah, now it's becoming pasty. All right, my gravy got a little thick. I add some water. Because again, I'm gonna make a lot of this gravy in the end. Hello. Yes, nice to see y'all, my boy. My hand's a little. Glad y'all made it. Yeah, we're shooting.
I moved out here in 2015, and I was introduced to him by my now wife, Shanice Flowers. And you know, from there, it's kind of been up from there. Like, been really good friends. Other than my wedding and just a slew of like just shows that he came out to support me at. Our friend CO's birthday, he cooked for us before, so you know we had something on our stomachs before we drank and everything like that. But I specifically remember that night too. It's so crazy. He had made this fish that was crazy, like crazy, and I want to say, oh no, that's why it was so crazy. His mom sent him the fish. His mom sent him the fish because I was there earlier that day and we tried some, and that's what it was. That's why the fish was crazy. The fish was ridiculous. Mama Burnett, she did that. She did that for sure.
We would always meet up at his house after work and otherwise to watch games, basketball games. He would cook for us. It was kind of very communal, and it was one of our early concepts of building community out here, especially since we were transplants and we moved first from where we went to college and then further away from our family here. And so it was really interesting how, without even realizing, we were building that community for each other and kind of like showing up for one another, and just, of course, his amazing skills in the kitchen, but he just really emulates what it means to be a friend and show up for each other. So I just love our relationship. It's so reciprocal. We just respect each other so much, and that we see a lot of passion and a lot of, you know, responding to adversity in the most creative ways across one another. So I think it's really cool that he would include me. He always includes me. I feel very special. I feel anytime we've been able to show up for each other and really express ourselves as friends, it's been really special to me.
Does everybody take a shot already?
A couple things pretty much ready and almost done, like this pasta. So we're just gonna go ahead and put everything together. We have our lovely guests here. They're hungry and waiting, so we're not gonna waste any time. And we'll see you guys in a bit. Something like that. Cool.
It's like putting, you know, tasting the food, putting a taste to the pictures that I've been seeing and all the videos that I've been seeing on Instagram. I think that's amazing. You know, he's living out his dreams, cooking and feeding people's souls. So I think it's amazing to see. Yeah.
The food was absolutely amazing. It was so satisfying and soul nurturing. It's heartwarming. So it was really good. Yeah.
I thought the food was amazing. I never got to eat his food before tonight. I would just always see it and I'd be like, where's mine? And so tonight being able to like really taste like all like the things that he is really popular for, it's special. He outdid himself, and I think being able to see the behind the scenes of like, this is what goes into it, this is what inspires it, that's things that I tap into when I cook, because I love to cook, I love to bake, and it's like unlocks little memories for you, and sometimes you don't even realize until you go back to the root of the dish.
I have no words. His ability to use spices and elevate his dishes from when we were on Aborn Road in his apartment to here now today, him presenting his second volume of his cookbook, I'm amazed. The food was everything. It was exquisite. It's the best word I can come up with.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, from the first bite, it was just like I wanted more. Cleaned my first plate. Seconds were available. I was there.
We were the first ones for seconds.
I've obviously heard a lot about Sequoia's cooking, but never tried it before. I know you have. I was totally blown away. It was amazing.
First, I've never tried oxtail. So think about that. Tonight was my first night I ever had some fucking oxtail, y'all. Excuse my language, excuse my French. Mom, if you're watching this. Tonight was the first night I had oxtail, and it was amazing. Just the flavor. Sequoia about his flavors. He don't use a lot of salt, but he uses a lot of flavor in his food, and so I appreciate that so much. Now I didn't even get, I had to scoop the bottom of the pot to get what I got. So I know it's just a testament that everybody else loved it, right? You heard that in every interview. That boy's a real bad man.
I mean, the oxtail is just a classic. I know that that's his specialty. That's what he talks about. When he talks about home, he talks about his grandma making oxtail. And so I was excited to try it for the first time. He's made me a bunch of other food, but this is the first time I got to try the oxtail. Lived up to the standard for sure.
You're the third person.
Oxtail, it's a hot one for sure.
Yeah, the pasta was good, but I think that oxtail won me over. Because it's my first time tasting his food, that oxtail was amazing.
It was amazing. I was so happy he included oxtails as my favorite dish from him.
Yes, absolutely. It is the oxtail. And I feel like that says a lot because I've tried a lot of his different dishes over the years. So yeah, I love the oxtail.
And I'm not even an oxtails girl. You know, people are always like, I love oxtails, and it never was for me. But these were good. So yes, it was gone.
The very top of the list, yeah, it will have to be the oxtail. It has to be the oxtail. I was gonna try to be different, but I can't. I can't go against the grain.
Names of the show. I think he should stay authentic to himself, like his Jamaican roots. Maybe his Instagram name.
I would go with chefing it with Bumbuhclaat.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I think also, I feel like there's so many word plays I feel like he could make with his name. It's so unique. I think using his name would be smart, but I love that too.
It's just off the top.
I like to shoot off the top of my head. So I'm thinking the circle of Sequoia or Sequoia's circle. Also, dishes. Dishes, very simple, just dishes. Cause some people might think, oh, I gotta do the dishes, but no, Sequoia's, he putting them dishes out. And it's the flavor, like I said, the flavor is ranging, so I'm just gonna say dishes. That's it. You gotta have some real simple dishes. So, yeah, those are my two suggestions. Yeah.
I think with the Friendship Cookbook, this is volume 2 that he has just released that is a part of the celebration today. And I think that anything that includes that full encompassing idea of like food and how it creates communion, cultivating communion, if there could be something like that kind of ties those ideas together.
I think the root of his is the food is the connectivity through friends. That's why he has the Friendship Cookbook, and that's why his episodes will continue to feature people that he cares about, has grown with. So I think really like Food and Friends, too easy, but Food and Friends Unlocked, something where it just actually incorporates or gets a sentiment of like connection, friendship, community to come through, and how food is the conduit for that.
Well, idea as far as the name of the show, when he said it that he didn't have a name, I immediately thought of Drake's tour. It's basically like using the audience to give you the name, what they would want. Basically having them, feel like they're, a part of the process, and then somebody, you could have like a contest or something or some sort, and then the name that you actually choose, that person, they get their name chosen for the name of the show. You have a forever fan, you know, things like that, and it just, you know, goes from there.
I think the best way to approach it is that I've approached a lot of things like when it's right, it'll stick out to you, you'll know it. You may try to like veer off from it, it'll always come back up. I don't know if I have a suggestion. Like, I think his story is so complex in the most beautiful way. And so I think the name should emulate that, his journey that it took him to get here. So I think it'll come to him if he really thinks about it that way.
It's funny, I just read this like probably 20 minutes ago. That boy about to make me pull out the dictionary and tear up all at the same time. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Let's see. All right, I got it, y'all. Page 56, 57. It reads, we need people who share our passions, people who invest in our visions. As creatives, we need other creatives to sharpen us. That is Chef Q, a man of many talents and skills. What he is going to do next is always a spectacle. One of his latest amazements is his cafe, 7323 Chicago, where he has given me the honor multiple times to share his kitchen and serve his customers. We have been collaborating for years, sharing ideas and techniques in the kitchen, and here he shares his panko encrusted salmon with you. Oh my God, it's an honor, bro. It's a complete honor. It is an utter and thorough honor. Thorough honor. And so I appreciate that, and that helps me appreciate our relationship even more. Iron sharpens iron, so wow. Wow, yep, that's it. I just like to say that, you know, we create the light in whatever space we in. We bring influence, we bring love, we bring just a sense of comfort and peace, and I think the people around us always feel that, so.
I'm feeling good. I'm happy with the outcome. I think everybody came and had a good time. I think they enjoy the food, a lot of joy, and I liked how I was able to incorporate my friends. So yeah, I'm feeling really good about it, you know, but mostly because I feel like everybody's happy and had a good time. So that's what really makes it for me, you know? Yeah. I think it means a lot to me. It means everything in a sense, because I think that's what life is about. It's about connecting. It's about bringing people together. I feel like for me, the most important thing in life, I'm a person, I'm a human being, and there's nothing I can connect with in a way that I can with another person. There's, you know, they're just different. So I like being able to bring people from different parts of the world together, different cultures, different walks of life. I never really care about what somebody look like, where they're from. It's about, you know, their language of love. You know, if they can show me love, especially if they can recognize and see me in my best self and my being, you know, that's something I don't take for granted. So it really means everything to be able to bring people together. For me to be a good enough reason for them to come out, leave their homes. I mean, you can't take that stuff for granted. Like, you know, that's the kind of stuff that I think really matters at the end of the day. So it could be somebody in here that I'm not even talking to at the moment. It wouldn't matter, because for me, I just never forget what you've done for me. Like, no matter how big or small, whatever positive, like these things that for me go a long way, for better or for worse. If you've done any good, you're probably good with me forever. So just thank you to everybody that is involved and not involved. There are people who are not in the book who are also dear to me, you know? What makes a friend, right? Like, is it just somebody that helped you find your passport at the airport, like, yo, you dropped your shit? Or is it like somebody you've known for 10 years, like, you know? So, you know, we just want to appreciate people while we can. And that's what this is. So at the end of the day, no matter what happens, they know. I love them and I appreciate them. And for me, that's cool.